After the release of its first season back in September of 2003, it didn't take long for NCIS to become one of the most popular crime investigation series on television, and this success has a lot to do with the incredible cast that portray our favorite characters on the show. But what do we really know about these cast members? And what are their relationship statuses right now? For all this and more, stay tuned. Number 1. Mark Harmon as Special Agent Leroy Jethro Gibbs. Since we can't talk about NCIS without at least mentioning the leading man who started it all, let's kick things off with Mark Harmon, who fans of the show will know for his intense portrayal of Special Agent Leroy Gibbs. And although things have become difficult for the Burbank actor due to his advanced age, who despite his handsome appearance is already 70 years old, we know that the show won't be the same now that his character has left the scene. He was solidly committed to the role for over a decade and somewhat became the face of NCIS. What might surprise fans is just how far back his dedication goes. Did you know, for example, that Harmon appeared on the Backdoor Jag pilot? Pretty impressive considering how NCIS is a spin-off from the original series. And we can't forget that Harmon went on to become an executive producer of the show and its own spin-off, NCIS New Orleans. So when we say he had a dedication to the show that can't be beat, we really mean it. In fact, the only commitment that outweighs this is the marriage to his beautiful wife, Pam Dauber, who you'll probably know from her portrayal of Mindy McConnell in the Mork and Mindy Show. Believe it or not, but this couple have been married since 1987, with Dauber leaving the industry in the late 90s to look after her new family with Harmon, and they've been happily married ever since. Number 2. Sasha Alexander as Special Agent Caitlin Todd. Next up on our list is Sasha Alexander, who brought the character of Special Agent Caitlin Todd to life back in the first 2 seasons of the show. Surprisingly enough, this wasn't the start of her illustrious career though. Look back a few years to the running of Dawson's Creek, and you'll recognize the Los Angeles-born actress as Gretchen Witter, the love interest of the titular character. This role propelled her to fame, which then increased even further when she was brought on to portray one of the most exciting characters in the history of NCIS. Unfortunately for her though, the workload was a bit too much, and she decided to leave the show for mental health reasons. But this wasn't the end of her. Fans of Shameless and Rizzoli and Isles will recognize her as well for the roles she played on both properties. Now 48 years old, the actress has said that although NCIS was her true love, she doesn't have any regrets about ending things after just 2 seasons. She's married to Italian director Edoardo Ponti after all, and has 2 beautiful children to call her own. This marriage, which took place in 2007, wasn't her first though. As it turns out, she once walked down the aisle and wed Luca Pacel, but after just under 5 years of living together, the couple decided to have this relationship annulled. So as it turns out, her personal life is just as complicated as Caitlin's. Number 3. Michael Weatherly as Special Agent Anthony Donazzo. And then we have Michael Weatherly, who is best known for his portrayal of Special Agent Anthony Donazzo in the first 13 seasons of NCIS. Along with Harmon, Weatherly will always be considered to be one of the faces of the show. In fact, he was the recipient of the infamous back-of-the-head Gibbs slap, which became a running gag on the show. But you might be surprised to hear that Weatherly wasn't always known as the charismatic special agent we came to love over the years. Before NCIS propelled him into fame and fortune, he was working alongside Jessica Alba in the science fiction show Dark Angel, which was pretty popular in its own right. He also went on to direct a few episodes of NCIS and finally reached the pinnacle of success when CBS awarded him with his own show, Bull. But if you thought that the professional life of the 53-year-old actor has been a roller coaster, just wait until you hear about his personal life. The man was first married to Amelia Heinle of The Young and the Restless fame in 1995, but the couple decided to call it quits in 1997 after the birth of their son. He then dated Jessica Alba for a short stint, but this relationship fizzled out when he met Bohana Yankovic, who he married in 2009 and had 2 children with. And according to Weatherly, he couldn't be happier right now. Number 4. Polly Perrette as Abby Sayudo. Another NCIS actress we simply cannot ignore is Polly Perrette, who portrayed the weird and wonderful Abby Sayudo on the show. Known for her quirky nature and love for the appealing drink Half Pow, Perrette quickly became a fan favorite and featured in practically every episode due to her character's job as the resident forensic scientist. She was also largely regarded as the character who brought many parents and grandparents closer to their children, with Perrette often portraying an adult role while maintaining a childish attitude in the best way possible. When she decided to leave the show after 15 seasons, though, stories started to pop up, making her departure a pretty controversial one. According to reports, the 52-year-old actress wasn't as happy-go-lucky as her character and didn't get on particularly well with Mark Harmon. Speaking of controversial, her personal life wasn't exactly a walk in the park either. She married Francis Shivers in the year 2000, but the two separated just 4 years later, officially divorcing in 2006. As per Fox News, Shivers was a known abuser who physically and mentally tormented Perrette. In fact, Perrette still has a restraining order against him and has become a spokesperson for the legal reform of stalking laws because of what she has been through with Shivers. Since the star has been pretty quiet about her dating life, even tweeting in 2019 that she wishes to be both single and celibate for as long as possible. Number 5. David McCallum as Dr. Donald Mallard. Next up on our list is David McCallum, who's best known for his portrayal of Dr. Donald Mallard from the very beginning of the show. Like Harmon, he's been dedicated to the property for a large period of time, even appearing in the backdoor introduction of the series on JAG, alongside his leading friend. Funny enough, the older generation will know him better as Ilya Kuryakin, a character that became incredibly famous in The Man from UNCLE, but it was his role on NCIS as the hilarious Ducky that really introduced him to the new generation. The Glasgow-born actor is by far the oldest man on the set of the show, having just turned 88 back in September. So, as you can imagine, his personal life has been a long and exciting one. He first married Jill Ireland in 1957 after they had met on the set of Hell Drivers, but the two divorced in 1967 after Ireland had fallen in love with their mutual friend, Charles Bronson. This was after the couple had brought 3 children into the world together, rocking the newspapers at the time with the controversy. Luckily for McCallum, though, he then met his current wife, Catherine Carpenter, who helped him through this difficult time and went on to make him one of the happiest men in the world. Number 6. Sean Murray as Special Agent Timothy McGee. Last but not least, we have Sean Murray, who is best known for bringing the titular character of Special Agent Timothy McGee to life in the NCIS universe. What fans of the franchise might not know, though, is that Murray first appeared in the debut season of NCIS as nothing more than a guest star. But when fans couldn't get enough of the charismatic special agent, the showrunners decided to upgrade him to a recurring role, which then caused him to become a series regular for around 18 seasons. And what might surprise you even more is the fact that Murray actually played a different character altogether on JAG, which somewhat opened the door to him taking on the role of McGee. The 43-year-old actor also has a family connection to the show, with the series creator and former executive producer Donald Belisario being his stepfather. According to reports, Murray is currently happily married to Carrie James, who he wed back in 2005. For those of you who don't know, James used to be a teacher, but later created what is now known as the Business Relationship Alliance, a networking initiative meant to help female entrepreneurs find success in the world. Suffice to say, Murray and James are the definition of a power couple and have 2 incredible children together. And there you have it, the real age and life partners of some of our favorite NCIS cast members. Which character is your favorite, though? And is there anyone else you'd like to know about? Feel free to let us know in the comment section down below.